You know, have you ever had that dream of growing your own tropical fruit tree, but you just figure, nah, I don't have the space or my climate's not right? Well, what if I told you there's a tree that not only loves living on a patio, but can also shower you with multiple harvests all year long? Okay, let's get into it because we are talking about the incredible starfruit.
And no, that's not just some poetic exaggeration. This quote really nails why the starfruit, or carambola if you want to get technical, is called a geometric superproducer. We're not talking about waiting a whole year for one harvest. Nope. We're talking 3, 4, maybe even 5 crops. It's basically a non-stop fruit factory.
So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you do this? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack right now. We are going to break down everything you need to know to turn that question into a delicious, star-shaped reality. We've got this mapped out in 5 key steps. First, we'll talk about why it's such a perfect plant for small spaces. Then, we'll dive into its really unique biology. After that, it's all practical stuff. A year-round harvest plan, mastering the art of growing it in a container, and finally, we'll arm you with some quick troubleshooting tips to keep your tree happy. Okay, so let's kick things off with why this tree is a total game changer. I mean, unlike a massive mango or avocado tree that wants to take over your whole yard, the starfruit is naturally pretty small. It actually enjoys a good pruning, and this is the crucial part, it can live its entire super productive life in a pot. That makes it perfect for just about any space. And the fruit itself? Oh, it's fantastic. It's crunchy, it's juicy, with a taste that's somewhere between a citrus and a grape. But the real magic, the tree's secret weapon, is its relentless flowering cycle. Seriously, while other trees are taking a nap for the season, the starfruit is already gearing up for its next round, promising a near-constant supply of fruit.
All right, to really become a starfruit whisperer, we need to pop the hood and see what makes this thing tick. Once you understand its little quirks and secrets, you can unlock its full, amazing potential.
So, check this out. One of the coolest things about this tree is a trait called nyctinasty. The leaves literally fold up at night like they're going to sleep. They'll also droop if you touch them or if it's raining hard. It's this amazing protective instinct that actually shows its family connection to the common wood sorrel you see in your yard. Who knew?
And speaking of its biology, this is really important to know. The fruit contains something called oxalic acid. Now, that's what gives it that signature tangy flavor. But, and this is a big but, it's a serious health concern for anyone with kidney issues. So it's just a critical piece of info for any responsible grower to have.
Okay, a little history lesson. In the wild, starfruit trees had this fascinating pollination puzzle going on. To stop themselves from self-pollinating, they developed 2 different flower types, pin flowers and thrum flowers. You absolutely needed one of each type of tree nearby just to get any fruit. It was a huge challenge for early growers.
But here's the brilliant part. Modern cultivars, the ones you're going to find at a nursery like Arkin or Kari, have been specially bred to be self-fertile. So that whole complex botanical puzzle, it's been solved for you. The big takeaway here is you only need one tree. Okay, so we've got a self-fertile tree that just loves to flower. How do we turn that into fruit all year long? Well, this is where you, the grower, get to play conductor. This part is all about mastering that non-stop cycle.
It all comes down to the flush flower fruit cycle, and this is the absolute key to getting those non-stop harvests. You're basically tricking the tree into flowering. First, you create a little stress with a brief period of drought. Then, you hit it with a heavy watering. This is the trigger that makes the tree think, oh, it rained, time to reproduce, and it just bursts into bloom. Then you just support it with light, regular fertilizer to give it the energy it needs. You can repeat this whole process multiple times a year. It's amazing.
All right, let's talk about where your tree is going to live. And for a starfruit, growing in a container isn't a second-best option. It's actually the ideal way to give it exactly what it needs when it needs it. And the magic number you're looking for is 20. A 20 to 25-gallon pot is the sweet spot. It gives the roots enough room to support a healthy 6 to 8 foot tree, but it's not so big that the soil stays soggy. This size is perfect for long-term health and a ton of fruit. The soil you use is just as critical. Starfruit are total heavy drinkers, especially in the summer, but they absolutely hate, and I mean hate, having wet feet. So, this mix is your golden ticket. About 70% high-quality potting mix and 30% perlite or pumice. This combo ensures water drains right through, which is the key to preventing root rot. Now, to keep your potted tree from getting stuck in a rut, you need to do this simple reset every 2 or 3 years. Just gently lift the tree out of the pot, trim off the outer 2 inches of the root ball with a sharp knife, and add in some fresh soil. This one simple move totally rejuvenates the tree and keeps the fruit size from getting smaller.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. This last section is like your master's toolkit. It's all about the fine-tuning, the pruning, and the final pro tips to keep your tree cranking out those stars.
When you're pruning, your #1 goal is to create what's called a light chimney. Basically, you just thin out some of the branches in the very center. This lets sunlight pour deep inside the canopy, which is vital for ripening those interior fruit clusters, and those are often the biggest ones. And while you're in there, snip off any of those straight-up vertical branches. They're just suckers that steal energy.
And your tree will pretty much tell you what it needs. If you start seeing yellow leaves but the veins stay green, that's the tree screaming, "I need some iron and zinc." If all those beautiful little pink flowers are dropping off before they can turn into fruit, it's almost certainly getting blasted by wind. Just move it to a more sheltered spot, and you've solved the problem.
All right, let's boil all this down to the 3 most important things to remember. #1, set yourself up for success from day 1. Choose a self-fertile cultivar like Arkin or Kari. #2, embrace the pot. Seriously, it's the best way to control its water, drainage, and soil pH. And finally, #3, be patient when it's time to harvest. For the sweet varieties, wait until that green color completely vanishes and the fruit is a beautiful, rich, golden yellow. That is when the flavor is absolutely perfect.
And that's really all there is to it. By understanding its unique nature and using just a few simple techniques, you have everything you need to make this happen. You can absolutely transform your little space into a personal, productive oasis. So I guess the only question left is, are you ready to make it rain stars?